My name is Julia Francis, and this is the Nutrition Facts Label assignment for FOS3042 Assignment 2. The purpose of this recording is to explain to someone else how to use the new Nutrition Facts Label. I'm going to explain the nutrients, the calories, the serving size, and the daily values that are found on the Nutrition Facts Label to someone else. For this assignment, my trainee will be my mom. So, do you want to say hello?
Hello, my name is Tracy.
I'll start with the location and the appearance of the Nutrition Facts Label. So generally, it's located on the back or the side of a package. It's outlined in a black, bold outline and clearly states at the top, Nutrition Facts. The type of information it gives you is the amounts of nutrients and the serving size along with the calories that you get from eating a certain amount of product that is inside the package. The serving size is listed at the top, and it'll list the amount in ounces and grams, as well as an approximate amount of individual items inside the container that make up one serving. And the calories lists how many calories are in one serving. The nutrients listed are the total fat, the saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbohydrates, dairy fibers, sugars, added sugars, protein, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. Most of these have already been on here previously, but vitamin D and potassium particularly have been added to the new food label because most consumers weren't getting enough of either of these two nutrients. Another thing that's new is that added sugars are now required to be labeled, and consumers should try to stay below less than 10% of their daily calories being from added sugars. Some of the nutrients that you would want to have less of in your diet, or that you would want to have less than 100% of the daily value in your diet, are saturated fats, sodium, added sugars, and trans fats. And most Americans exceed 100% of the daily value on average. The ones that you want to get more of are dietary fiber, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. Most Americans don't get the recommended number of these. Another thing is the daily values. On the far right side of the Nutrition Facts label, there are percentages next to each nutrient, and that is the percentage of This is the percentage of the daily value of each of these individual nutrients that you get from consuming the product. And for the good ones, you probably want to aim for around getting 100%, and then the bad ones, you would want to try and consume less than 100% of these, 100% being the maximum based on a 2,000 calorie per day diet. And now I'm going to ask my trainee 3 different questions. So, if one serving of a product has a daily value of 20%, how many servings of that product would you need to meet the daily value that you need?
5.
Yes, so that would equal 100%. Unless it was one of the ones that's not as good for you, in which case you probably wouldn't want to eat that much of it. Which 2 nutrients are now required to be listed specifically because people weren't getting enough of them?
Vitamin D and potassium.
And which 2 labels are larger and bolder now than they were before?
The calories and the serving size.
That's correct.